Come on, you're out. Pause the music. Stick on the comments. Here we go. We're all set. We're ready to rock and roll. Big, big day, week, time of the year, everything. So much going on. So many people to see. Friends, family, parties, co-workers, all the rest of that stuff. Gifts, New Year's resolutions. What did I do this year? Oh, the year in review, all the rest of this stuff. It's like, bam, get smack dab smashed with everything, aren't you? Aren't we all? Everything, everything. Then we get the three big holidays: Christmas, Hanukkah, and Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa began this morning. That's kind of timely, right? Kwanzaa begins this morning. Christmas, obviously, on the 25th. And the last day of Hanukkah is today. What do they all have in common? Well, they all have to do with lights one way or the other, right? One way or the other. You got Kwanzaa. Let's go tack in our Kwanzaa light scheme here. There we go. The menorah. Got the menorah back here. 8 crazy nights of menorah. And that ends tonight. Hanukkah ends tonight. And, of course, Christmas. Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. And those Christmas lights will stay up for a while, I'm sure. So, so you got that aspect of it. It's all about lights. So that's all good. We'll tie that into something here that's to do with this, since it's also one of those time of the year where mental health becomes a big issue, depression becomes a big issue. Because like with all of these things, it's like, oh, the year review was a great year. Sometimes it wasn't. It's tough. What am I going to do next year? I don't know. Don't really have any goals set. Well, that's tough. And then take a look back too, and people have been born. That's a great thing. Marriages, that's a great thing. Divorces, maybe not a great thing. In some situations, that actually is. Many cases, not. Especially get kids involved. People that are past. People like, oh yeah, I'm gonna see, never see. People you say you're gonna get in contact with, never do. There's even some silly goals that are out there, like, oh, I don't know. That's you reaching out to all those Facebook people you got, those LinkedIn people, those social media friends. I just spoke to somebody who's got, actually, they got 1,600 friends. I was like, oh, they're really nice. It's tough to keep in touch with everybody. Blah blah blah. She does. He does actually. Wow, that's kind of awesome, isn't it? Awesome, and it makes you think. It's like, wow, what do I do? How do I compare? What is it that, selfishly speaking, that I'm doing right, you're doing right, that you're proud of, not proud of? How do you keep that light on? How do you keep that light on? How do you keep motivated? How do you keep in the groove? How do you keep, as a conversation I had earlier today with somebody about that, that law of attraction? How do you keep that going? Do you have to be the flame all the time? Do you have to be the central focus of it all the time? Do you have to be self-motivated all the time? Speak about that mission statement. Does that mission statement have to be your big driving force, or can it be something that somebody else is doing? Questions. If I was a psychologist or a psychiatrist or somebody in mental health, maybe I can give you an answer. I can't. That's just a flat out reality of it. I can't. I wish I could. I can't. I wish I could tell you that for myself. I can't. They hang on to that 80-20 rule. Why? Because like some days are just tougher than other days, to go and do and the rest of that. In total transparency, sometimes I have no idea in the world what we're going to talk about when we do this thing. Sometimes I wonder why in the world they do this thing. Why? What am I accomplishing? Thought about that one. Big time thought about that one. What am I accomplishing? That tomato talk. Top of mind. What does that mean? No focus. Ooh. Advancing through opportunities? That's a focus. Maybe the name change. Consider that. Consider a whole bunch of different things. But how do you stay motivated? How do you keep that thing going? Revisit it, rebrand it. Let's put a technical term in there. Absolutely. We're going to rebrand. What does that mean? It means, man, I don't know what was going on in the past. Maybe it's not working. Maybe it's just not working. It's a business decision then to rebrand. Perhaps it is. Hey, it's very well possible that your market has shifted. I was just talking to my wife about that. About watches. you know, wristwatch, a wristwatch. What in the world has happened to wristwatches? Now, your high-end wristwatches that are worn as jewelry, probably still the same. So all you folks over there that have got the big fancy watches, worth a couple of grand or more, so be it. That probably has not changed because you're not really wearing it to see what time it is. It's not a usable watch in that respect. You're wearing it special occasions. It's jewelry. It's flat out jewelry. Bragging item, who knows? I don't know. I'll just say it's jewelry. It's jewelry. But regular mid-level watches, who has a watch? I don't know. That's changed quite a bit. You got the phone. Sooner or later, it's going to be a tough selling wallets. Why do you need a wallet? A billfold. Oh, gosh, that's an old term. All right, so maybe your market has changed a little bit. But watches have. Let's just go back to that. Watches have. Now watches all have got the computer in there. They got your credit card information in there and stuff like that. So it's not just being that durable Timex watch that could drop on the ground, bounce around forever, and takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Now it's got to be internet access, everything like that. So if you were selling watches, you do need to rebrand. So there's a valid reason to rebrand without a doubt. Without a doubt, because your market has changed. You are making a decision to do that. Gentleman I work with actually works in that world of branding, brand story casting, rebranding, telling the story, freshening up the story, and there's a lot of absolutely valid reasons why that needs to happen. Look, we've even seen that over the past couple of years. Your audience may exactly be the same, but you need to make a change in the way that you address that audience. You need to show that you're current with the way of doing business. It's not necessarily brick and mortar anymore. It's a little bit more digitally formatted. So that website, oh boy, that website better be there. And that website better match all your social media pages. I'm sorry, I just hesitated on that one. Things to do. Update all pages. You'll see on many of my pages, it says Long Island Speakers Bureau. No, that's not the effort. That was a change, such a dramatic change that's going to remain just as an aside, that kind of thing. But branding is a big deal for business decisions. Rebranding on a personal level with your own business, maybe it's a matter of figuring out what really gets you excited, what keeps your lights on. And I'm not talking about the monetary lights and that kind of thing. I'm talking about this. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's your heart, your soul, your brain, your engagement, your own thing. I keep that light going. So, refreshing all your websites or the website, your Facebook page, LinkedIn page. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's part of it. I definitely do. But it definitely comes back to that. Well, why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you doing what you're doing? Get the input from different people. Figure it out. Happy to say I do get comments, from folks about the clarity of this, clarity of the effort, and that certainly is appreciated. But if it doesn't resonate from within, if it doesn't get you excited, where are you going to go with it? Where are you going to go with it? Oh, Brian, if you start this great business, you're going to make $1 million. It's going to be great. But if you have no interest in it, you have no interest in it. You won't make $1 million and it won't be great because it won't be floating around on the top of your mind all the time. That's not going to happen. It's got to be something that actually truly, truly means something to you. Truly means something to you. I referenced my mom on this one, right? So this is years ago. Years ago, I bought a boat, and we were looking at the boat, and there was small thing. This is no big investment. It's just a hull, attic, and an engine, that kind of thing. Um, but she looked at me. She says, "Are you excited about this?" And I said, "Yeah." Maybe I said it unconvincingly. I don't know. I must have. I was like, "I think so." And her comment to me was, "You know what? It's right. Is when the hair on the back of your neck goes up. You get like all excited. You get the adrenaline. It's like, yes, and you start to see that boat, that vehicle, that business, that project, that something that is like you just got to keep on doing it. Got to keep on doing it." And she said, if your hair stands up on the back of your neck when you're looking at something such as this boat, so then you know you're making the right decision. It's like, okay, I got the boat. Remember that thing. It was just a hull. It was really, truly just a hull. They put seats in it and all the other kind of stuff, which is, you know, total besides the point. Not I don't have the boat anymore. I kind of fell by the wayside. A few other things, but so be it. Still looking for the adrenaline rush on stuff. Which was a good point. It was truly a good point. So just look back on these sites that need to be updated. Yeah, of course they need to be updated. You know, and of course, it's continuing to move forward without a doubt. Got to do that. Not going to give. Just not going to give up. Nah, that's not there. There's much to accomplish. But again, as that conversation I had this morning, maybe there's too much. There's just too many things. Maybe there's just not enough, focus on it. So it goes to what keeps you going. It's got to be a finite, as much as possible, finite. I'm talking in disclaimers again. It has to be a finite goal. What is it? What is it that you really, truly want? Really, really want? That's what's going to keep the lights on. What is it? Did business plan with somebody. What the gentleman really, really wanted was the ability to go on 3 or 4 day fishing excursions pretty much whenever he wanted. I'm like, that's great. So we made sure his business fit that. And then everything else fit into place because he was excited about that goal. He was excited about creating that lifestyle. And it wasn't a 20-year-old. The gentleman was in his 50s, maybe 60 at the time, something around that area. So it's never too late either. 50 is definitely not too late. Um, you know, but it was designed, and that kept his lights on. That definitely kept his lights on. So think about that this holiday season as you give gifts to everybody, as you run across different people and they tell you what they've accomplished. And maybe you meet with family or friends and discuss people that have passed away, or maybe you've just kind of not really into the whole holiday season, and that's fine. And then you're around a group of people, maybe at work, because you just need to be around people at work, and like, oh yeah, did this, did that, what'd you get, and all the rest of this stuff, what kind of gifts? And you're like, you didn't really participate much of all that stuff. It certainly could be a bit depressing as that goes, because you don't have anything really to say. Can't really avoid it altogether too much. You can be on the outside of it, but not too much. And maybe this is the big challenge then. Um, some of the people that have achieved some of the greatest things in the world have gone through some horrendous challenges. They've lost everything. They had nothing. No friends, no family, no money, no nothing. Some not even in education. But they had a will to succeed in something. And they figured out what that something was for them. And they never stopped. Never stopped. Put the horse blinders on. Maybe they had the hair on the back of their neck get going. Maybe it wasn't that way all the time. Probably not. Probably not. But when they got that opportunity to speak their words in front of a group of people that they were able to impact in a positive manner, wow, that becomes special. And that really, that's where we have that story about candles, right? What's the greatest thing about a candle is that you could take a candle and you can light another candle with that one candle, and it takes away nothing from the first candle. It just helps that second candle along. And then that second candle burns bright. It's got its foundation reaching higher. I was mentioned by the rabbi, yeah, I think it was yesterday. That's what a candle is. That's what a flame is. That's what a flame is, and that kind of thing. Always reaching higher. And that's what it's about. So how can we do that? Can we really do that with ourselves? Can we always be that flame, that internal flame that's got the foundation and it can always reach higher? But a good solid foundation is where it's at. And we can help light other fires, but we can't spread ourselves out too far. And then none of it just is too much. It's just way too much to handle. So we need to stay focused. So that perhaps would be the plan of action for the upcoming year. Maybe that's the whole idea about, well, with the string of Christmas lights, with the 8 candles on that menorah, 9 if you want to include the first one, and then you have 7 candles. Let's put them back up over here. 7 candles on the Kwanzaa. For Kwanzaa. And all of that. Each candle is its own entity. Every light on that Christmas tree is its own entity. Every candle on that menorah is its own entity. And when it all works, it gets even brighter. So perhaps that's the way to keep your candle going, right? You have your own thought, your own mission, your own thing that you want to achieve. Then you take your candle, your own side of it, and you create, build, find, locate, identify those that are around you that have got a very similar mission that becomes complementary to yours. Not the same as yours, then you should be partners, but complementary to yours. And do that. Does it need to be a whole string of lights? Perhaps not. 9 candles or 7 candles? Maybe not even that many. But what it has to have that foundation. It has to have that commonality, in there. But it's got to be based in something that's for real, absolutely for real. Which goes back to your mission, your brand, them. Those people that you're surrounding yourself, those people that become attracted to you through the law of attraction, that see their own goals and see their own goals through your goals and see how it works on both sides and see how with both of them burning side by side, one does not take away anything from the other, but the two of them together, perhaps the three, perhaps the four together, will make for a much stronger effort overall, allowing each to achieve whatever it's striving for. And that's how I think, personally speaking, to keep myself going, to keep my own flame going in that respect. Not to try to do too much, to try to do enough, and to keep it focused from within. And that's the whole thinking here, even with the name of this thing, Tomato Talk. Is it really too much top of mind? Maybe the top of mind needs to go. But I want to call it Ado. that sounds that sounds stupid. Welcome to Ado Talk. Come on. Wait, might as well go with somebody else had mentioned about what's going on as opposed to what's going on. What's Cohen on, last name Cohen. That kind of thing. Yeah, I don't know. It's memorable. That I just don't know. But I think it's the advancing through opportunities. That's really what it is. Seeing these opportunities as they go, and maybe, but that's it. There is a number of opportunities, and that's basically what I'm shooting for here with a lot of this. The message is the fact that there are a number of careers that are available to everybody, and I mean everybody, as long as you could see them at an early age. That's the whole idea of the vocational programs and stuff like that. A lot of the other stuff I've gotten involved in, whether it be Toastmasters, communication skills, with helps to build confidence, whether it's a whole idea of the drag racing and the cars and the rest of that stuff, because I think that would make for a guy's catalyst, for so many vocational programs inside of the high schools, including automotive, which could lead to aerospace manufacturing, welding, painting, event planning, food trucks, and a host of other things. Of course, the audio visual, we can't forget our radio people and the camera people and drones. All of it factors into it. All of it factors. That's why I think, wow, if there was a permanent facility, how unbelievable would that be? And then to do this, and then to do this. Hey, well, I might as well share this. There's, there's the light in my corner. It's like, yeah, keep going, get focused. There's my get focused team member there. So all good, all good. But that's really where it's about. That's the whole thing. So doing the show where it's top of mind, where it's like all over the place. Eh, no, need enough variety, need enough leeway with it, where it focuses in on the whole idea of the advancing through the opportunities, seeing these opportunities. So that's where it kind of changed up. Maybe I just need to change. I'll keep the tomato, but change the TOM. Let it stand for something else. I don't know. But I share this with you as we go through this total open forum of talking about really what's on top of mind. And this flat out really truly is on top of mind, because it's a lot of, as we sit down and talk, it's like, what am I really doing? What am I really doing? And am I effectively doing it? And there is quite a few things. I mentioned brand storycasting, Arthur Germain, that has been supportive of me forever on these things. And that, what he does, the brand building and retelling of our stores is so important. It is so important. It's so important to, again, to re-energize ourselves, but it's also important in the respect that our markets change and maybe some of the focuses of our businesses change as it goes through. Look, you have a business. What do you have? You have a business to business, right? Or maybe it's business to consumer, but you're not just selling stuff or providing a service. You still need employees. So maybe there's the brand of your company to the employees, because that's an issue nowadays, isn't it? Employee engagement. It's a big thing. Big thing. Hey, even Santa had a problem with that one. Somebody put up one of those little photos, thinking like, they're talking to Santa. It's like, hey, man, the reindeer want to work from home this year. I was like, you can't do that. There are certain things that you just can't do. Those reindeer have to go out. Now, of course, if you're into car racing, you saw a few of them with a few of the cars pulling a sled, and so be it. So there's always alternatives. Maybe that's a rebranding too. Maybe Santa needs to be Santa. Can't rebrand Santa. Those reindeer, They got to change all those songs. I forget that. Forget that. But you do need to keep it going. You do need to keep it going. It has to come from within, and it has to come from the standpoint of knowing what you are not capable of. I think we're all capable of a lot of things. But knowing what to, again, I was going to use the word delegate, but it's not delegating either. Support? No. When is it the time to find symbiotic relationships? Really, symbiotic relationships. That's where the growth comes from. I think that's this last thought, and this will be the visual on this thing. And I've done this a number of times. No, it's not so much as building businesses, not so much it's about partnerships or anything like that. It has to do with the microphone. It has to do with the microphone. Leading a panel discussion. That's right. Not me giving a speech, but a panel discussion. Moderating. I've moderated a couple of panel discussions along the way, but moderating a panel discussion. So what is a panel discussion going to focus on? One topic. One topic. Maybe that's your mission. One topic that's supportive of the rest of the stuff. But those other 3, 4, 5 people, I even did one but 6. That was crazy. But your panel of 3 to 5 people, don't go more than 5 people. With 3 to 5 people, who are you going to have on that panel? You're going to have people on that panel that have got their own goals, their own missions, their own way of looking at something, and their own goals that are symbiotic to the mission, symbiotic to the topic, symbiotic to the message that you are trying to deliver as the moderator of that panel. What if you went through life the whole way through and did that with your business? You always had your panel. Think of it as an advisory panel. If you'd like, you want to get together with these people once and have it formal, hey, go ahead and do that. You're that big of a company, make them board members. So, hey, go and do that. Networking partners, referral partners, all could be. But think about having your own panel. As if you're going to do a panel discussion, who would you have that is a symbiotic relationship to you? That, my friends, might be the key to keeping your light on, keeping your candle burning, creating your own little private menorah, your own business candelabra, where you're always, always excited and energized about what you do, because you know that there are other people that also believe in you, that you believe in you, and that you can achieve whatever it is that you'd like to achieve, as long as it is something that's outright, downright, unbelievably the most important thing in the world to you. And that's the thought for today. Figure that one out. And you will speak well, you will speak often, and you and your entire team will live inspired, and perhaps inspiring others to do exactly the same. Enjoy the holidays and a little Happy New Year, as that's coming up within a week too.